Hello. I decided to do a Thanksgiving demo. So it's pumpkin roll. Sorry, I realized that was right in the front of the camera. So I've already pre-measured out a bunch of the ingredients. So in here I've got 3/4 cup of flour, a half teaspoon of baking powder, half teaspoon of baking soda, half teaspoon of cinnamon, half teaspoon of cloves, and then a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So that is all in here, the dry ingredients. So then in my other bowl, I'm going to mix up eggs, sugar, and pumpkin. Okay, and then to prepare your pan, the recipe calls for a jelly roll pan. So that's basically just like a cookie sheet is a jelly roll pan. So you need to line it with wax paper, just like this, and then grease it really well. If you have shortening, shortening is the best. I don't have any shortening, so I'm just gonna use the spray and spray it really, really good on the sides, all over the bottom, like overdo it. You don't want it to get stuck. Okay. You can flour it too if you're afraid that it's still gonna stick. Ooh, it's gonna make me cough. So when you flour it, oh jeez, you put where did I put the flour? Oh shoot, I'm using the flour right behind me, right behind the camera. Just a second, guys. Sorry, it's holding the pad up. Okay, so you're just gonna sprinkle a little bit of flour on the pan. And then take the pan and then just kind of put the rest either in the trash or in the sink or wherever. I'm putting it in the sink right now, just the extra. So it's just got a light coating of flour, not very much flour at all. You don't want to see the flour on your pumpkin roll. Okay, so in the bowl, I'm going to, and you can do this by hand, you don't have to do it in the mixer. You're going to need 3 large eggs. Okay, thought that I had everything ready, but not quite. Sorry. Okay, and you'll see me cracking more because I am doubling the recipe because I'm making one as a gift and then I'm taking one for Thanksgiving to my in-laws' house. So, and then you're going to need the pumpkin. So, Libby's is like the one that's famous for pumpkin rolls. You can use Fry's Kroger brand. You can use whatever pumpkin you have. It will be great. So, whatever brand you have. Okay, so 3 eggs for the one recipe. And then a cup of sugar. Oh no, hate it when I do that. Okay. All right. Cup of sugar, which, like I said, I'm doubling. And then we need 2/3 cup of pumpkin. So I actually need 4/3, which would be 1 1/3 cup for me for the pumpkin, double. Okay. All right. So I've got the pumpkin measured out, and I'm going to start mixing the eggs and sugar together. This is a great dessert to make for Thanksgiving because it's not that hard. I mean, the worst part is if you don't grease your pan right, but it's really not that hard. And people are so impressed by it because it's pretty and it tastes way better than the store-bought ones that you buy at like Costco and Fry's. I mean, those ones taste artificial. This one tastes really good compared. So once the eggs and sugar is mixed up, now you're going to put in your pumpkin mix. And like I said, you can completely do this without a mixer. So I've got the doubled recipe, 1 1/3 pumpkin. It's kind of on the side of the mixer, so I'm going to scrape that off. I'm making a pumpkin roll, honey. All right. And then once that's mixed up, you're going to stir in the flour mixture. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in there on a really low speed. It's like the stir speed. Okay, so just let that mix up until it's combined. Okay. Okay, I'm spreading the pumpkin roll onto the pan. So it's gonna look very thin, and that's normal. It's not supposed to be thick because remember we're gonna roll it into basically a jelly roll, and if it's too thick it will just crack. So it's going to look very thin. Make sure that you spread it very evenly all to each corner. Keep that wax paper down. Okay. So all the way to the edges, but you don't want any holes either. Okay. And don't rush, like you gotta make sure that you have it very even in the pan. Alright. Once I feel like it's good, I'll put it in the oven. But it just keeps so thin that like it's kind of difficult to make sure that you have got no like bald spots, I guess that you could call them. Okay, so I'm going to show you. Oh gosh, what am I doing? Okay, so that's what it looks like. It's very, very thin. All right, and I'm going to do that to the other one. I'm going to go ahead and put this one in the oven for 13 minutes to start. All right, don't have a place to put this, so I'm holding the pumpkin roll with one hand, and I'm sprinkling powdered sugar on this wax paper. I'm hoping this wax paper is big enough. Okay, so usually in the classroom we use like a flour sack type towel. Well, I don't have anything like that for cooking at home. And I've been told that the wax paper works just as well, and then you don't have to worry about the dishes. So, I mean the laundry. So I'm going to put it out on that wax paper. Okay, and then I'm going to take this pan off on my line. Good job. I'll have to look at it later though. Okay, so I've got this, hopefully you can see, I've got this on the wax paper. I'm going to take this wax paper off that I used when I baked it. Parchment paper, same thing. If you've heard of parchment paper, this is the same. So you can tell I greased it well because it's coming right off. Now I'm going to take this wax paper that it's rolled or that it's on now, and I'm going to roll it. So I'm rolling the pumpkin roll like this, up into that wax paper. Okay, so I didn't need quite that much wax paper. I've just never used it before because I've always used the towel. So once I do this, we're going to cool this on a wire rack until it's cool enough to put the frosting. So I want to show you guys though, if you want to do the pumpkin roll with nuts, you chop up your nuts, which I use walnuts, a cup of walnuts. I chop it up and then I put it on the pumpkin roll before I bake it. So this is the other one because I said I was doing a double batch. It's got a cup of walnuts on it, and I'm going to cook it also for 13 to 15 minutes. So this one took about 15 minutes total. So I'll put that in there. And then I'll set the timer for 14 minutes. And then wait on that one. So while that one's baking, this one will cool, and then we'll come back and frost it. Oh my goodness, doesn't want to pause. All right, guys, so I've got both of them out of the oven, and I'm gonna make the frosting for the middle. So for the one recipe, you need 1 8-ounce package of cream cheese. And I'm doing 2, remember, because I'm doubling it. And then you need 6 tablespoons of softened butter. So this is, I put it in the microwave just for a little bit, just to soften it. It doesn't want to come out very easily, does it? Okay, and then I need 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So I'm using real vanilla, so shh, guys, please be quiet. My goodness. Sorry. This is what happens when you cook from home. Okay, so I'm going to use about a teaspoon and a half of vanilla. Get out of here. Oh, my family. Friday night comedy over here. And then sorry, I'm distracted now, cup of powdered sugar for the one recipe, but I'm going to double it. And the recipe does say sifted. I do not have a sifter at home, so I'm not sifting. Sorry, we're like doing Elf tonight, like Christmas movie with hot chocolate and cookies, so it's a little bit loud and crazy over here. Okay, turn it on and mix it. And that is a frosting, so it's basically just a cream cheese frosting. So as soon as they are cooled, I will put that on the 2 of them. All right, let's finish up. So we have got the one with nuts here. So you're gonna gently unroll it. I was really worried because I kind of had a mishap when I was putting this on the paper, and I spilt my water and kind of like put it crooked on the paper, and I thought it was gonna all stick together. So sometimes they kind of crack. So this one's got a little bit of crack on it at the, a little crack on it, not a little bit of crack. That came out wrong. Right here. But when I put the frosting on, I'm gonna roll from this side now because I wanna cover up that crack so that nobody can see it. And then I'm gonna have the other one rolled out as well, which this one is the one I have way too much paper on. So I'm gonna put that extra paper over here. And they do feel kind of sticky. It's like a spongy cake, sort of, just a really thin one. Okay, so I'm gonna separate the cream cheese between the 2 of them. They smell very good. Okay, get all that frosting. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the non-walnut one first, just in case. I don't wanna, get walnuts all over the place in case the people that eat this one don't do well with nuts. I always tell people that yes, I prepared it at the same time, so there is a chance there could be some, but if they're really allergic, then they need to know that. Okay, so spread the cream cheese all the way to the edges, and then evenly spread it. Okay, I'm gonna do the one with walnuts now. Smells really good once you start putting the frosting on there. And you want to make sure that the roll has cooled maybe at least a half hour, probably, maybe a little less, but you just don't want it to be piping hot where the frosting is going to melt into the cake, because you want to have plenty of frosting when you're eating that pumpkin roll, because it would not be the same if it all soaked into the hot cake. All right, once you're good with the frosting, then you're gonna roll them back up. Okay, so take it and gently roll, getting all the paper off of the cake as you roll. So it is a little bit sticky. That's why you do put that powdered sugar down. Okay. All right. So it's all rolled out. You guys see it? So when you serve it, it's pretty big. You're going to serve it and sprinkle powdered sugar over the top of it, like dust it over, and then cut it, and it will look like the spiral cuts. It'll look very nice. Now the one with the walnuts, I said that the crack was on this side, so I'm going to turn it around, and then I'm going to roll it from here. And then one with the walnuts will look a lot bigger because of the nuts. Okay. Same thing, pull that paper away from it, and then just roll it like that. Okay, so they're both ready. There's the one. You can see the size difference. Well, maybe not with this iPad thing, but there's this one's quite a bit thicker. So that is the end product of a pumpkin roll. So you're going to wrap it up in saran wrap, and you want to refrigerate it for at least an hour before you eat it. But what I usually do is I make them ahead of time. I put it in the freezer if it's going to be a few days, and then take it out just an hour before serving, dust it with the powdered sugar, and then slice it up, and you will be the star of Thanksgiving.